All right, welcome back to Metal Minutia. I'm Ray. I'm here with Phil.
Hello.
This is episode 8, and it's a very special episode.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm excited. Well, I'm always fairly excited, I guess. They're always good.
They're always good episodes.
Yeah, it's a good way to spend my time.
All these episodes have been amazing. I'm really looking forward to the 100th episode, actually.
Yeah. Aren't we all? But today...
We'll get through the 8th one first.
Yeah, we'll get through the 8th and the next 92 after that.
Yeah.
But Steel Assassins today, we're going to be spending a lot of time talking about that. But before we do that, what's happening in the world of Phil's heavy metal?
Yeah, I've got a couple of been listening tos lately. It's a couple of retro albums. Firstly, in preparation for the Glenn Hughes gig coming up.
Yep.
Been listening to Deep Purple, the Burn album from 1974. Glenn Hughes, of course, being co-lead vocalist and bassist on that album, along with lead bass and lead vocals on that album, along with other lead vocalist David Coverdale.
He wasn't lead bass though. Coverdale was he was slacking off.
He was slacking off. No, he was lead. He was leading man. Okay, David Coverdale is leading man, like ultimate leading man. Yeah, David Coverdale was just rocking the shit. Yeah, what a stunning album, an absolute classic in every respect. I love Deep Purple's Burn.
Have you seen Glenn Hughes before?
Yes, yeah, sure.
Sweet.
Sure him. Last time he was here in Australia, probably about 10-ish years ago.
He was here in 2018. 2017, 2018.
Man, maybe I'm lying then.
And then there was a time, about 10 years ago as well.
Okay, that's the one. That must be the one I saw.
Yeah.
That must be the one I saw. Yeah, I saw that. That was at the Corner Hotel in Melbourne.
Yeah, nice.
And that was cool. He usually plays a few songs from Burn anyway, so I'd seen him perform some of these tunes before. I had a great time. I think he's still got it from what I've heard, and I hope he's got a good band in tow. I don't see why not.
I think he can have whoever he wants in that band.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I know if I was asked to play Deep Purple's Burn with Glenn Hughes, I'd probably say, okay. Yeah,
I'd probably say no on the basis that they could find someone better.
Well, see, you're a selfless man, You're a better man than I. I'd be like, yeah, I'm there. I might be rubbish, but I'm there. I'll be co-leading, co-bass. No. Yeah, it's chock full of classics, this album. Yep. The title track being one of the eternal heavy metal proto-thrash kind of... No, not proto-thrash, but, an absolute monster heavy metal classic.
Yep.
Mistreated, of course. Blues rock staple that went on to be a concert delight for David Coverdale solo, and Dio did it with Rainbow for a while, etc. But it's all great stuff on there. Lay Down, Stay Down, Sail Away.
Yep.
Anyways, I'm looking forward to the gig, and I was just in prep listening to that album.
Yeah, that's a good time.
Also the first Anthrax album, Fistful of Metal.
Right. So you're not on your Megadeth run?
No, I'm not. I got derailed because of our brief discussion, my brief observation about the first albums of each of the big four.
Yep.
And I was just thinking about Fistful of Metal. I thought, I haven't listened to that in a while, and I thought, because I remember thinking, this is my favourite Anthrax album. I remember having that opinion, and it still is. Like, I really love it. It's wild. It's definitely not thrash yet, as in quote unquote thrash, like like the super clean riffing and the shouted background vocals and the obviously there's no rap as they would sometimes dabble in later on. Fistful of Metal is just it's what it purports to be. It's a fistful of metal, and there's a couple of...
I think that's a good amount of metal.
A fistful of metal is a good amount of metal. Yeah.
We've broken him.
Not a snifter of metal. Not a... Yeah. 1 metric cup. I'll have one... I'll have a fistful. Yeah.
And then, it's just, depending on how big your fist is how much metal you get.
I can't say anything more about this album now. Oh, dear. No, let me finish. Neil Turbin, the vocals, in his only recorded performance with the band, he only did the one album with them. He reminds me a bit of Eric Adams from Manowar. His higher screams, he's wow. And I think there's something to that because
You don't get much better praise than that.
No, man, I get the passion and the insanity as well. Like it's really, really cool. Metal Thrashing Mad and
did he go and do anything else?
I'm sure he did, but I'm not aware of it.
Yeah.
I can't profess to be across it. I will confess. But yeah, there's something to that comparison because I think being from New York in the early '80s, where Manuel was from originally, and the album was produced by Carl Kennedy of the Rods, another early proto metal band from New York.
Touring soon. Touring
Yeah,
next month.
absolutely. Yeah, as it happens.
End of October.
So that's cool.
Australia.
That's a cool little connection. Yeah, and the and the album art on Fistful of Metal. I don't know if you can picture it, but this guy's face with a fistful of metal, and
He's just saying this isn't appropriate enough.
Yeah, this is appropriate. Yeah. I don't know where the fist is coming from. It's like it's coming out of or inwards and up. Anyways.
Yeah, those first albums of like the Killing Is My Business cover.
Budget.
Yeah. Even Kill 'Em All's covers a bit.
Yeah, that's like I love it because of what it represents and what it reminds me of. But that is shocking. Like that is rubbish. Like what the hell? What even? What is it? It's like the shadow of a hand with a hammer, and then there's a blood, but it's not really like a splatter. It's more of like an ooze. An ooze. I don't know what.
Yep.
Kill them all.
One.
Question mark. You killed one?
Speaking of Metallica. They've announced that they're going to announce something soon.
Oh, yeah. What does that mean?
Don't know. Well, I guess, yeah. I would assume that they're coming to Australia and New Zealand soon, but they're going to announce it soon, is what they've announced.
Right. So that's like the equivalent of a local band saying, like, stay tuned.
Big news coming.
Big news coming, man.
Yeah, it's good for everyone. If locals can do it, Metallica can do it too.
Yeah, for sure. Do whatever the heck they want.
Any other news from your side?
There's just something I wanted to say about Deep Purple Burn. I'm circling back for a second, right? It was the first Deep Purple album I heard properly.
Yep.
When I was a kid, I heard, Smoke on the Water and Black Knight on the radio. But the first album I heard from start to finish was Burn. And it was because I was singing it at school, or singing something, Deep Purple, whatever, to myself at the time. At school, like I'm in grade 4, and my art teacher, Mrs. Fanshawe, hears me singing Deep Purple, and she's like, "Oh, I love that band." And then the next day, she brings in her LP copy of Burn. She says, "Have a look at this." I'm like, "Whoa, man, what's this cool looking thing?"
Because like a record, like vinyl in what was that, 1996 or something?
Yeah, if I'm 10-ish years old, 96, 97.
Yeah, it's a bit of a like you wouldn't have probably seen. No, I guess maybe if your folks had them, but yeah, it's a weird time to have vinyl.
Yeah, absolutely. And an odd place for it to just appear out of
primary school.
in primary school. And so Mrs. Fanshawe showed me her copy of Deep Purple's Burn, and she said, "Look, I can't lend this to you, but I'll make a copy for you." And I'm like, "How are you going to do that?"
That's a very good question.
And she's like, "Don't worry, we have the technology, we have the tools." She made a tape copy of it for me, and I had Deep Purple's Burn on tape, side A and side B. And that's how I heard Deep Purple properly for the first time, on that tape. And I hadn't thought about this in forever. And just looking at my Deep Purple copy the other day, not the tape copy. I don't know where it's gone.
From there.
I have, it's compact disc now, but I don't know where that tape ended up. But I just so thanks, Mrs. Fanshawe. I'm sure she listens to heavy metal podcasts, so I'm pretty sure this message will get to her.
Yeah. We'll share it around.
Yeah,
make sure it gets there.
Yeah. What else, Ray? What's on your radar?
So Blacksound Records, Melbourne-based online store up until this point anyway, has got a location opening in Brunswick I think it's on Sydney Road.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's going to be
awesome.
More record stores is always a good thing, and
absolutely. When things are going the opposite way, like another bricks and mortar place that you can visit and look at with your eyeballs in the real person. Fantastic.
Yeah, so I just saw that had come up, and
awesome.
I'm not sure when they're opening. I guess October they'll open, but if you're in Melbourne, have a look at that. Hammerfall supports have been announced for the Australian tour. Woo! So it's Valhalore and Silent Night. Valhalore, I think, doing just the East Coast. Silent Night doing the full 5 shows.
Nice.
Or was it February when Blind Guardian were here and Valhalore were on that and for the East Coast, and then I think actually every show except Perth, and Silent Night did Perth.
Nice.
It's a little bit of symmetry there, I guess.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
But yeah.
Silent Night being from Perth.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes. Yeah. Full disclosure. We never claim to be anything but subjective here. But my brother is in Silent Night, so I do have a... We
didn't sign a waiver.
No. So it's heartening to see Stu and the guys get that support after... Like, Perth is not a power metal town, and they've been slugging away at it for 15 years, I think, now. So, yeah, good on them.
Well deserved, well earned, and congratulations. That's killer, man. Excellent.
Really good. Similar note, I've been listening to Grand Magus.
Yes.
Particularly Triumph and Power, the 2014 album.
Yep.
Because they got I saw, the other day that they've got Sunraven coming out October 18th.
Okay, right. Now, they've got heaps of albums out. That'll be a lot for them.
Yeah.
That'll be
I reckon it's probably double digits by this point.
Yeah.
But I went on a little... do you ever do this where obviously there's a million bands out there and you superficially know... Yeah, you might know a few albums or whatever. You don't know who's in the bands or anything like that.
Yeah.
And then you, for whatever reason, start Googling them. And, like you see the connections. So the singer or the singer-guitarist in Grand Magus is also in Spiritual Beggars. And,
Yep.
And then, it's all just this web of...
Yeah. I totally know what you mean. Yeah. That was one of my pastimes for a while. Trying to figure it all out. I thought I would figure it all out. I'd put the whole puzzle together. You give up eventually, I think, but it's cool to do. No, I love that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, only 2 reviews for Triumph and Power, 73% on Metal Archives.
Okay, yeah.
Seems a bit low to me, but
yeah.
I don't really know.
Yeah.
I don't know what...
Where are you with Grand Magus in general? Like, is this, do you have other favourites from in their discography? Like, what's going on?
I wouldn't say I'm well versed in the band. I like, probably this album I've listened to a fair bit, but, a few others... Yeah, a few listens, but for whatever reason, this one is the one I go to.
Yeah, cool.
What about you? You must.
I came on board with Grand Magus in 2000. I think it may be 10 when Hammer of the North came out.
Yep.
And I absolutely smashed that album, and I still consider it one of my favourites of all time. I love that album. I think it's one of the best albums of the 2010s, teens, whatever you want to call that decade.
Yep.
Hammer of the North is a masterpiece in my opinion, and I implore you...
I will listen to that.
To revisit, yeah. Absolutely love that album. It is... there's few bands that I would most certainly call plain old... 100% just plain old heavy metal.
Yeah.
There's actually very few that I just would anymore. Just plain old and in the best, that is absolute compliment. Just plain old heavy metal.
Yep.
And Grand Magus is that.
Absolutely.
And certainly Hammer of the North. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good fun listening.
Yeah, for sure.
Just tough.
Yeah.
Not too fast, not too... Yeah. Just foot stompers everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Anthemic.
Yeah.
Occasional fist in the air, beer swilling most of the time.
Stops.
Yeah, stops. Yeah. Swords. Iron.
Yeah. Classic stuff.
Hell yeah. Grand Magus.
Anyway, enough of things that aren't happening at Steel Assassins. Let's go to Steel Assassin. Dave Balfour's festival, hosted by Metal Evilution, 12 years running, I believe. I don't know if it's 12 consecutive years, if we lost one or...
Yeah, I think one was lost in COVID, and I think maybe one earlier, it didn't run for a year. That's just to my vague memory. But certainly 12, 13 years in history.
Yes.
Yeah, across.
Which is incredibly impressive.
For sure.
Yeah, Dave's been putting on heavy metal gigs for, I think, 21 years. This is 21st year.
Awesome.
I first did a show with him 20 years ago.
Wow.
When I was a much younger man.
Wow.
So was he, I guess. That's how time works, I think.
Hey, look, I'm no scientist, but...
Could be onto something.
Yeah, could be onto something there. Yeah. Dave, absolute legend. Absolute legend of the Australian heavy metal scene.
Yeah. Really good bloke, too. Hopefully he listens to this so he hears our nice words.
Put us on your gigs, Dave.
And so I'm just going to run through the running order. So it's November 8th and 9th at the...
Which is a Tuesday, Wednesday in...
It's the Friday, Saturday, controversially.
Right.
And just completely blanked on where it is.
I think it's at the Bridge again.
The Bridge, yes.
Yeah, the Bridge Hotel. Yeah.
I was going to say the corner. I'm like, that's not in...
Nope.
It's not in Sydney.
Nope.
Yeah. So, the Bridge in Balmain-ish area in Sydney. Before I do launch into this list of bands, Phil and I both play in bands that are on this bill.
Full disclosure.
Full disclosure. We don't... When we started doing this, it wasn't with the intent of promoting our own bands, but at this point, we can't do a thing about the gig and not mention it. So
can't not.
Yeah.
As such.
Yeah. So with that awkwardness,
we'll keep it to a minimum. I assure you.
Yes. We will not.
Tasteful minimum. I assure you.
Yeah. We're much better at promoting other bands than our own anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, Friday night we have in running order Ace on Fire from New South Wales, Odious from Queensland, Lithic from. It's hard to know where Lithic are from.
No one knows. They just appeared.
Yeah.
Lithic is Ray's band.
Yeah. And they're spread across the country a little bit. The Plague from New South Wales. Butterfly from Victoria, which is Phil's band. Automation, which I keep wanting to say Automaton, which is a band from Greece.
Oh, yeah.
Very different. And these guys are from New South Wales, so different location and
name and such.
And music. And the headliner Friday night is Ironhawk from Tassie.
Excellent.
Then we swing around to Saturday. Scholar of Sin from New South Wales, open proceedings. Then we've got Cult of the Night from Melbourne.
Cult of the Night!
Yes. Dirty Pagans, who I think they got the support for that Glenn Hughes show.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I think the national support, I imagine. Evocatus from New South Wales. This is where my handwriting comes undone by my own hand. Roadkill from Tassie. Aardvark from Victoria. Temptress from New South Wales. I reckon Temptress have been around for about 25 years.
Probably as long as Dave Balfour's been putting gigs on. Yeah,
longer.
Probably longer, yeah.
Heaven from New South Wales. Hyena from Peru.
Wow.
And of course, Raven from the United Kingdom.
Woo! Excellent. Man, that is stacked couple of days of heavy metal.
Yes, it certainly is. You can get single day and 2-day tickets. We strongly recommend turning up to both.
Yeah. For your own health and safety, we strongly recommend you there at the beginning for the entire duration.
We'll be there, so you should be too.
Yeah.
That doesn't apply to other things, just this. Our day-to-day lives, you don't have to follow us around.
No.
But just this once.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about a few bands in particular. There is a lot of bands, so we're not going to talk about everyone in detail. We just picked 3 each that we're going to go through. And because it's on the same page as that running order, I'm going to start with The Plague.
Very good.
So they're actually a very late announcement. I think just got added to the bill last week.
I was going to say that's news to me, actually.
Replacing Adelaide's Christ Dismembered.
Okay.
Who had to pull out for whatever reasons. These things happen. So The Plague, death metal band, who...
Good name.
Yeah.
Especially for a death metal band.
Yeah, it's one of those names you're like, they play death
That's
metal.
Appropriate, yeah. Yeah, hell yeah.
Imagine if they played power metal, how good that would be.
Nope.
So they've got 2 albums and an EP. I've got the 2 albums here for the on the table for the Eagle-Eyed Observer. Actually, alongside it, Nocturnal Graves.
Nice.
When I was putting that out today, I realized that I actually have 2 copies of this album.
I love it.
I think I just got excited and bought
the
it
accidental double up.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah. So they've got started 2016. An old friend of ours is the lead guitarist. Do you know anything about The Plague?
No.
Chinch is the guitarist.
Ah, sick.
Yeah.
The boss.
Chinch the boss, Chinchilla on guitar.
Awesome. How cool.
Yeah, really cool. But
I haven't seen him in ages. That'll be good.
Yeah. But 90s Swedish style death metal type situation. Dismember and Entombed.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. It's so easy to combine those 2 names into one.
That's totally fair. You're totally forgiven.
The lineup is just a whole bunch of Sydney metal scene legends, actually. The guys have just been around for a long time in various bands and playing cool death metal.
Yeah.
So it should be a good time. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to...
I'm just drinking in the cover art here and the song titles and everything. This is really well put together. This is awesome. Oh, a bit of Lost Records. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. And that was the first album. The second album came out on Brilliant Emperor, sorry. And their EP has actually just been re-released on vinyl as well, I saw a week or two ago. So that'll be no doubt available for purchase at Steel Assassins.
Excellent.
See, we're really good at promoting other people's...
Yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, playing such classics as Torment the Living, Spawn of Monstrosity, Effigy of the Rotten, Dismal Solitude. Excellent.
Dismal Solitude.
Yeah, Dismal Solitude.
That's pretty...
It's much worse than regular solitude.
Yeah. I'm quite fond of regular solitude.
Yeah, but dismal.
Yeah, it sounds awful.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Cool, man. How exciting. Cult of the Night!
Excellent.
Cult of the Night, Australian band from Melbourne, formed in the last few years.
I really hope they bring the skulls with the red eyes.
Of course they will. And if they don't...
They're going to be furious.
Yeah, furious. I'm going to send them a sternly worded email. Dear sir. For sure. And they've got
theatrics on stage.
Yeah, the theatrics. Yeah, the schlock. You know? They totally know how to present this music the way it should be presented.
Yes.
You know, like it's I probably should say, it's like speed metal, blackish metal kind of, what have you type deal. So they really know how to present the aesthetic and they've nailed it, and it's really cool. I feel like they're Australia's answer to like Vulture from Germany, even Stalker from
New Zealand.
From New Zealand, yep. Yeah, they've got the dank 1980s thing, you know, and and like you said, the skulls with the glowing eyes on stage,
on big inverted crosses as well.
Mate,
forget about it.
Like,
and the singer that just plays like guitar for the last 2 minutes of the set.
Yeah, awesome.
It is so good.
Yeah.
That's the sort of thing I'm in for.
Like when Prince has his guitar drop out of the sky and he just plays a sick solo, you know. Yeah. We've got to rig up the sky guitar for him.
We'll find a way.
Yeah. It's especially cool to see Dave on bass in that band. He's a veteran of many Melbourne metal and rock bands, notably Maniacs. And he's just one of those guys. I just love seeing him on stage.
Yeah.
Absolute great musician, shredder, but plays with real heart, you know. So I am excited for Cult of the Night.
Aardvark.
Aardvark.
Another Melbourne band. One we've talked about before. Well, we've talked about Cult of the Night before, actually. This is like a greatest hits episode.
Yeah, nice one. Yeah, calling back to all the best moments over the years of this podcast.
Over the many years.
Yeah.
Although Aardvark have only potentially been around for the last 13 months or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they...
What's to be said? Where do you begin with Aardvark? I tell you, Aardvark...
They opened their live career with a 4-week residency at the Tote on Sunday afternoons.
Yeah.
And just have gone strength to strength from there.
Absolutely. Strength to strength. Let me say, they are the first word in the dictionary. That's it. That's all I have to say. I think they're pretty close to being the first CD on my shelf now, actually. I don't think there's a band before Aardvark. This is minutia. This is what we're here for, right?
You don't have like 1349 or something?
They don't go under T? Are you that guy?
If it's numerical, then it's...
Yeah, okay, so if it's the actual number, the digit, you put it at the start.
Yeah.
But if the band was like...
Well, that's alphabetically first.
Okay, all right. I just checking, man.
When you're sorting data.
Yeah, I know, man. There's a bit of defense happening here. All right, that's cool. That's cool.
You got to go home and reorganise your CD collection.
Next time you come around, you're going to be...
Yeah.
Okay, no, I don't have 13. I don't think I have any 1349.
Oh, really, you're probably in the clear then.
There you go, yeah. Jeez, that was a close one. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, Aardvark.
Yeah.
If you sort most people's music collection alphabetically, it'll be towards the top of most.
Yeah.
Their album Tough Love came out... Was that this year or late last year?
This year, man. Yeah.
What is time? Dying Victims Productions, who you're wearing the shirt of.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Excellent label.
Yeah. They released it and they're off to Europe, I think, early next year to play some shows.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a band that works really hard and plays what I would describe as like traditional heavy metal, but like played really earnestly. You know, people, you see some bands doing, you know, kind of throwback music or, you know, 80s style stuff, and it's a bit like, I don't know, a bit naff, bit tongue-in-cheek, bit, you know, we're making a joke here.
Yeah.
You don't remember
you don't
the
know
80s
if it's, if it's a reference or a bit.
But Aardvark, they're in there.
Yeah, absolutely. They are authentic. They really want to do it. And you can tell that they really want to do it because they put their money where their mouth is.
Yeah.
They've just played so often and worked so hard, and they get crowds for their headline shows, and it's just...
Yeah.
That's an example of what happens when you get your ass into gear, you know?
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
And they've gotten some excellent supports for international groups in
they're
Melbourne,
you'd almost say they're their go-to for anyone that's kind of 80s and anything in that traditional heavy metal space would...
Yeah, like the kind of the higher echelon of the cult level, sort of, you know? Club venue size. They played a bunch of them. Yeah, excellent. More power to them. Particularly, I just want to make a mention of that song on... What's the ballad? The longest song toward the end. I think it's called... It's an excellent song.
He really goes... Ed on vocals really sort of stretches them out for that one too,
Yeah, it's a really cool performance, and the guitar solo is awesome.
I actually remember the week...
It's the penultimate song on the album. Yeah.
When the week that album came out, I remember when it was now, because it was March, and I had been at a wedding, and I was the drunkest man on earth, and I went to that gig, and Aardvark were there, but I just missed Aardvark. But I was chatting to Ed, and I was talking his ear off about that song.
Oh God, we are the worst.
Oh yeah. Sorry about that, Ed. I did send him a message the next day. I apologise.
I'm sure it was taken and appreciated for it.
In my
for
defense,
the sentiment.
I had a million beers.
In your defense. Yeah,
a good bunch of people as well. Aardvark, I'd say.
Yeah, legends.
Yeah,
lovely folks.
Very friendly.
Yeah,
just Ed's got to get. He's got the right amount of leather. Too many shirts on stage.
Okay,
that's my consistent feedback to him.
Okay. We need less shirt, moderate amount of leather, good amount of leather.
Yeah, he's got the appropriate
accoutrement. You know, like there's the
handcuffs, the studs and things. Yeah, he's got.
Yeah,
just shirts are unnecessary on stage, in my opinion.
Yeah, just lose the shirt, dude, and we'll be in business.
We switched from playing the Warlock to the Superstrat as well. That's okay though.
Oh yeah.
You noticed that over the last few months? Yeah.
I think I noticed that at the Sirith Ungol support.
Yep.
Where I think they played a new song there as well, which is, and they play that song Witch as well, which is not on the debut Tough Love. So I'm looking forward to hearing more new material, because it sounds like it's going in a slightly different direction, and I know that Ed's excited about that, and the group are excited about that. So that's I'm keen to hear more.
Yeah.
When I like a band, I just want to hear more songs. I want to hear new stuff, you know? I just,
It's been out for, 6 months. Give me something new.
Yeah, give me something new, man. Heaven, the Australian band from Sydney, formed in 1980.
Right, 1980.
1980.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
We weren't alive then.
No, we were not.
Original lineup, you reckon?
No, I can say that. I can say that categorically from some cursory research. It is not the original lineup.
Right.
They're very much. Do you know much about this band?
I know nothing.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm here to learn.
Yeah, very good. Very good. I only know about this band from like my acquaintances and from the metal scene in Melbourne, who were there, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know, the older acquaintances.
Yes.
And so all my info is kind of secondhand.
Yep.
But I did, like I said, I've done some cursory research as well. And but yeah, formed in Sydney in 1980, and very much in the hard rockin' tradition of AC/DC Rose Tattoo.
Nice.
Right. So that's the vibe we're getting. It's heavy blues, very Aussie, very sleazy, very convincing.
Yeah.
Actually, it's really quite cool. It's great, like pub rock, beer drinking music. So
nice.
They're gonna go down a storm. This is really exciting.
It's their third last on the Saturday, so that's perfect time for that kind of
man, yeah. I'm super pumped. This is a real good get for Steel Assassins. This is really, really cool. Yeah, the name Heaven is wrong. Like, they shouldn't be called Heaven. Like,
it makes me think of Heart.
Right, okay, yeah.
Which maybe isn't so far from the mark.
No, well, I mean, I don't know why they're called Heaven. Like, I guess hell was taken. But Actually,
Probably wasn't it?
the new wave of British heavy metal band, Hal, would have been around basically at the same time. So that's close. Surely they didn't know. Anyways.
And was it, Black Sabbath's Heaven and Hell came out just...
right around the corner.
Yeah.
Right around the corner.
Oh, they were ahead of their time.
Yeah. They, like I said, AC/DC Rose Tattoo kind of vibe, whereas Akadaka and Rose Tattoo managed to retain their pub rock vibes and rocket to superstardom somehow. I don't really know what happened to Heaven, and it's kind of hard to find out. But from looking at it, like at the time, they had some real momentum and real support. Like a couple of their albums were on Columbia Records.
Oh, right, wow.
Which is huge.
Yeah.
And so they had label support, and they had like proper MTV videos.
Really? Cool.
Like, with the, actors and the scenarios and all that, right?
As happened in the 80s, there was a complex narrative that would unfold.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Every video, a little short film, a vignette, So I watched one of these videos. I watched the video for Rock School, and I have to tell you...
Where does that take place?
I have to tell you about this in some detail, so bear with me, Ray. So in this video for Rock School, the band members of Heaven, they go to school.
Yeah, okay. Checks out.
Though they might not be students at the school because they're all in excessive denim and studs and leather.
Not in uniform.
No, they're not in uniform.
Not in a school uniform.
Not in a school uniform.
They're in a rock school uniform.
Yeah, exactly. You can see where this is going, right?
Yeah.
They also appear to be of mature age, so I don't know if they're coming in as like teachers' aides or something.
Yeah, well, they've got experience, so I would say, so that makes sense.
At the rock school.
Yeah. Well, they were already busy rocking.
Yeah, exactly. Experts, you might say. So they head into school. They join a class where the students are singing along to the chorus. Right?
Awesome. Are the students of a similar age or much younger?
Now, the students appear to be, they're much younger. They appear to be actual students of the school. They're singing along. And the classroom teacher is this saucy minx, right? And she's being quite suggestive. I don't trust that she completed a Bachelor of Education because she is not getting anything done, right? The kids are all just singing along to this rock school. She's just like whipping the desk because suddenly she's dressed like a dominatrix.
Okay, right.
Yeah, so that's what's going on in the classroom. At this point,
the principal comes in.
No, actually, we'll get to that.
Oh, right.
At this point, the band leave the classroom because, and I quote, "When the weekend comes, it's just me and the boys." So it must be the weekend, I assume,
Friday,
right? So they're
knock off.
Yeah, exactly. So they're heading out, and they encounter a team of like gridiron football players, like American football players.
Ooh, that's unexpected.
Yes, especially so because I guess it appears. They must be international students. They must be studying abroad, right? They must be. Yeah. Are they in America? So they must be.
Well, yeah. Was there any dialogue early in this feat?
To set it up?
Yeah.
Yeah. No such luck. So I don't.
An accent could have been a trick there.
Yeah. So I don't know. So I suppose they're studying abroad, which makes their rambunctious classroom behaviour even more shocking. Yeah. It's like, man, you guys are representing Australia.
Yeah.
Abroad.
Yeah, you're guests in their country.
Anyways, so they pick a fight with this football team.
A whole football team.
And they beat the shit out of them. Like it's an all-in brawl
against like 40 football players.
Yeah, and they've got all the gear on, their helmets, and they
still win.
Mate, rock school.
Yeah, they're tough.
Tough
as nails.
So at this point, the school security guard who is dressed like a Texan sheriff. He might just be the sheriff of Texas, actually, because he's got the hat and the aviators and a shotgun. Oh, no. He cocks his shotgun, right? And he rounds up the band, and he takes them to the principal's office, right?
Okay, yep.
Where, get this, the principal is waiting with like a wrestling mask on, like a, those.
Yeah.
He's got one of those masks on, right? So instead of, I don't know, like calling their parents, like...
yeah, well, they're mature age students anyway.
Instead of calling their university counterparts in Australia, he just throws them out of the building, presumably expelling them for, their outrageous behaviour, inciting the students and what have you. And, but our boys Heaven have the last laugh because the final scene of the clip is them playing their instruments in the corridor of the school.
Okay, yeah.
Because the acoustics are pretty good in the school corridor, I imagine.
Yeah, for sure. over the PA too, probably.
Probably, yeah. Actually, come to think of it.
Yeah.
Rock School.
Yeah.
So there you go, man.
That's an elaborate film clip.
Yeah, there's a bit going on.
So were the kids singing the chorus already when they walked in? So they didn't actually do anything wrong then. It was already happening.
Yeah, okay.
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a tough one, you know? Like, yeah, we're talking about what influence was made if they were already, if the students were already...
Yeah.
Was the school already a rock school, perhaps?
Yeah.
When Heaven arrived?
I mean, she got changed into the dominatrix outfit pretty quickly, I guess.
Yeah.
So
It happened like that. It was like some kind of movie magic, you know?
Was this before or after Twisted Sister's I Want to Rock?
That's a really good question. And I reckon it was a touch too late. I reckon it was a year after. Because I think that's 84 and this is 85.
Yeah, okay. Similar director? Same director?
Had to be. Look, in all seriousness, the music really is great. It's daft pub rock, and it's gonna be perfect. And I'm thrilled that Australia has a band like this that has like an entry into the 80s canon of outrageous film clips.
Yes.
You know, I love that. You know, and like I said before, this is a really good get for Steel Assassins because this is going to be so much fun, and it's the music, the tunes, you know, the songs, they're going to be great.
Yeah.
You know. Party time,
fist in the air.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think it's going to be
in the
real.
other hand type situation.
Absolutely, man. And you know, I like it when my bands are educated. You know,
yeah,
men of scholarly pursuits.
Hyena from Peru, the 5-piece Peruvian heavy metal, very much in the. Yeah, I mean, Steel Assassins tends to lean 80s heavy metal styles.
Yeah, word.
And they're, right into that new album type situation. Interestingly, only no full-length albums to date. I assume one's coming, but a few singles and splits and EPs. But yeah, have you listened to them at all?
I have not.
It's a good time. They're I think they're going to be faster than Heaven.
Yep.
But... it sounds like slotted between Raven and Heaven.
Yeah,
this is going to be that's going to be a pretty
awesome,
pretty good trio of just raucousness and fun.
Sick, awesome.
I really wish I had written down the song names that they had, but it was like Bite of Metal and or Bite of Steel, I think. Awesome. A lot of steel and metal and rock related titles. Yeah.
Well, that's why we gather, you know. We gather to say these words together in unison very loudly. And it proclaims, you know, these things about rock and steel and metal. And it's so awesome, you know.
A friend of mine in Perth, Smitty, actually, he's made a playlist of like called Breaking the Chains of Heavy Metal or something like that. Yeah. And it's just like every song that has Breaking the Chains. And there's like hundreds of them. Yeah. Anyway, it's just
add
a funny
hyena to said glorious list. Yeah, awesome.
It's just funny that we can keep doing this, and it's people do find new ones, like new ways of saying the word steel and metal and rock in a 3-word title. But
let's keep going until we've got them all. You know? We can't be sure that we've got them all yet, so let's persevere. Yeah. I'll let you know when I get sick of it, you know.
It won't happen.
So far, so good.
Yeah. It's like Metal Lucifer from Japan. Heavy metal bulldozer, heavy metal chainsaw.
Yeah, man. They know
metal samurai.
They know exactly what they're doing. They've got it. They have got it. Yeah.
And Hyena in the same sort of vein. Yeah. And I'm really looking forward to seeing him.
Yeah, sick. Awesome. Raven are a legendary band.
They are.
From the UK. The new wave of British heavy metal. Genuine originators from that time. Yeah. And they were there at Ground Zero with like Saxon, Diamond Head, Def Leppard, Rich Fine, Venom, Praying Mantis, etc. And Raven had similar exploits to all these bands. They had, they've got real street cred, you know. They've got classic albums, but they've also got like major label blunders and you know genre blending disappointments as well. You know, they've been through everything But they outlasted countless bands from that era, and
Well,
they've continued
40 plus years.
Yeah,
Still going.
yeah.
Because of 1980 then?
1980. Yeah, probably formed earlier than that, but the first album was 81, and of course, the new wave of British heavy metal around 1980. Outlasted so many bands from that era and continued releasing music over the years, even through the dark times.
Yeah, yep.
The grunge times.
So there was only really one significant break, and that was, I guess, the early 2000s. But otherwise, quite a lot of albums. And
and so this makes them the perfect headliner for Steel Assassins, because they're just persevering heavy metal heroes.
Yeah.
And but for the sake of today's exercise, I just want to mention the first 3 albums, widely considered to be the band's classic output: Rock Until You Drop, Wiped Out, and All For One. And herein on these albums, you've got, classic, standard, new wave British heavy metal material, rockers, a lot of up-tempo stuff. This I can safely call proto-thrash because, this is when it was like the handover was happening,
Yep.
The up-tempo stuff, James and Lars were eating up this stuff. Like, the influences all over Kill 'Em All of Raven. But also on these early Raven albums, you've got like genuine heavy metal epics. There's a few epic length songs like Tyrant of the Airways and To the Limit to the Top and Run Silent, Run Deep. And in these songs, these songs are thoughtful, considered, they're well structured, epic length tracks with real heart and real passion. And I mean it to say that, like, the cream of the new wave of British heavy metal is here in these songs. This is like really cool stuff, and the reputation of these early albums is really well earned. And I've seen Raven a few times over the years. I've had the pleasure. Saw them a couple times in the US and once here in Australia when they came here about 6 or 7 years ago, maybe.
It wasn't that long ago, was it? Well,
just before COVID, maybe.
Just before COVID, I think.
But they don't. They're great on stage. They're heaps of fun. They don't take themselves too seriously. They're decked out in proper like semi-costume heavy metal attire. They kind of look like it's like semi-athletic gear. Like it kind of look like. Remember that movie Rollerball? The sci-fi, the futuristic dystopian sci-fi thing with the sport, and they go around that track on their skates and they try to kill each other. Vaguely. Well, that's the movie. Yeah. Spoiler alert. Not much else happens.
I watched Running Man the other week. It's very similar.
Yeah, cool. Well, that's That's kind of where I'm heading. They look like they're in that. Like they're athleticized for what reason? I don't know, but it's the future, and you got to look out. Yeah. Anyways, they look great on stage and they're heaps of fun. The brothers Gallagher, Mark and John.
Yeah. So they'd be the only original or long-time members. Because I noticed I was listening to the newest album just this week, and the drums sound a lot different to how they did 30, 40 years ago. It's almost like a death metal drummer on there.
Wow!
Like it was
pretty high energy.
I was like, whoa! There's no way this was happening in 1980.
Yeah,
or 1981. It's pretty intense. Having been through all these times, they've adapted and changed along the way a little, and
his voice is still full of energy. Still full of energy. Raven is going to be an excellent closer to the festival, I think, and it's a real testament to Dave Balfour and the power of this lineup that he's got together, because Raven is a band that deserves support, but they're also the band that the festival deserves. Yeah, and I think it's going to be a great vibe in the room. And I think it's gonna push this particular edition of Steel Assassins into the history books, because it's I think the festival has gotten better every year by degrees because of lineup, location, how it's run, etc. And this just feels like a special one. And, and I'm really excited to be there, and I think it's gonna. I think if you're listening to this and you're in Australia and certainly in Sydney, grab yourself a ticket, man. I think it's going to be a killer weekend. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a festival that goes strength to strength. It gets better every year. And this is definitely
looks like the biggest lineup they've ever had.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I'm super pumped.
Yeah. I'd be there even when I wasn't playing.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think that's what I'm driving at as well,
Yeah.
subconsciously. I'm trying to say, like, I'm going to be there because Butterfly are performing. But I'm going to be there. I would have been there, especially for Raven in Heaven, I think, and it's going to be unreal.
On that high note? On that low note? I know.
On that medium note?
Yeah. On that well-pitched note.
Yeah.
No. So Steel Assassins November 8, November 9. Just get along.
Sydney, Australia.
Sydney, Australia. We'll put the link to the tickets in the show notes so you can get yourself one, or get a couple. Get some friends along.
Get 10.
Get 10. Buy as many as, Dave will not complain if you buy a lot of tickets.
If you accidentally buy more than one ticket.
I know Dave, he'll be very happy.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks a lot, Dave, for putting it on. And yeah, really looking forward to hanging out and drinking some beers there. Listen to some tunes.
Thanks for listening, guys. Thanks for your support. And we'll see you next time.